Today's vaccine is a 3 series creepy true service by number. Like, the link to the video will be the description below. Go in second month. And let's get into this vaccine. 3, 2, 1. What? Okay, what was the intro? The intro was wow.
I am 22,
Son on the bed. What the?
and this incident happened a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
I had just moved into my first apartment and was in the process of moving in. The door that led into my apartment locks itself automatically when closed. So I was going to the entrance of the apartment complex to get my mail while talking on the phone with my boyfriend. I returned to my apartment and sat on the bed while opening the mail while using the phone. I dropped the phone on the floor and it landed under the bed, so I had to lie on the floor and stretch for it. I saw something that caught my eye. There was someone under my bed.
What the?
My eyes widened and I choked the urge to scream.
Oh my god, who's hiding under the bed?
The person under my bed was lying still with his back towards me and his head to his chest, so I couldn't see his face, and he didn't see me. Trying to be rational while so many thoughts rushed through my head, I picked up the phone, said, "Sorry, I dropped my phone. I'm just gonna take a shower and call you back." The bathroom is right by my bed, so I hastily walked in, quietly locked the door, turned the shower on, jumped out my window. My apartment is on the first floor, and called the police. They told me to wait nearby, but to go to across the street and see if anyone comes out the door to the apartment complex. I placed myself across the street, hiding behind a car while watching my open bathroom window and the entry door. I called my boyfriend, and he came to me just before the police. I gave them my keys and they went inside. Only moments later, 2 cops came out holding a thin and tired-looking man. His eyes looked crazy, but he didn't try to get away. The policeman that had stood beside me and comforted me while the police searched through my house told me that the man stood outside my bathroom door with one of my kitchen knives waiting for me to come out. This man had somehow crept in my entry door while I was getting my mail and hid under the bed. The man that was trying to hurt me turned out to be a homeless person and was placed in a mental hospital.
What? It was a homeless person. Okay, I know you don't want to be homeless, but that don't give him the right to hide under the bed.
My boyfriend moved in with me the very next day.
Good. Wow, wow. That was wow. Okay, that was. I know it's an homeless bed. They don't give him the right to go under the bed.
There was a family consisting of mom, dad, older sister Chris, and her younger brother Alex. One summer day on a weekend, they decided to have a picnic. They used to build a bonfire on the riverbank, but recently there were often policemen there who fined vacationers for building a fire in an inappropriate place. So they decided to go to the forest together. They got on the car and drove off. They drove for a long time, first on an asphalt road, then on a country road, and then without a road at all. Dad had a good car, an off-roader. We reached the edge of the forest. There was no one around. Dad said it was unlikely that any policeman would come here. The weather was nice. Everyone was sunbathing, swimming, relaxing, playing, and Dad was tinkering with the barbecue. Something broke, and Dad couldn't fix it for a long time. A bird sang in the forest. It sang unusually well. Mom said that it was not for nothing that they had gone to the forest, because she had never heard such singing before. Chris asked if she could walk through the woods to the birdsong, while Daddy prepared food for everyone. Mommy said yes, telling her not to go far. Chris left, and she was gone for a long time. An hour passed. It started to get dark. The food was ready, and she was still gone. Everyone started shouting her name, but she didn't answer.
What?
It was decided to go to look for Chris. Having gone deep enough into the forest, Dad said that this would not do. Let's go back to the car, get in it, and go to look for her. Having returned to the picnic place,
Yeah.
Mom suggested to quickly eat the fried meat before it got cold, and then to drive. Alex started to eat anxiously, looking around. Suddenly, someone was hiding in the forest.
What?
Mom immediately spit the meat out after the first bite, saying it was kind of sweet and unpalatable.
Yeah.
Daddy also noticed that it's really unpalatable, and there's some bloody stuff in the meat that's impossible to chew. He pulled out this strange piece, rinsed it with water, and saw a tangle of black hair exactly like his daughter Chris's.
What the?
Not thinking long, everyone realized that they had just eaten. Silently, terrified, they quickly got out of the forest away.
O- o- Okay. Okay. That was okay. That was really creepy. Why was the black out on the piece of meat? That 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 really don't make sense. Okay, that
They got out of
wow,
the forest away.
wow, good, wow.
My mom's
That must be the man in the other one cut.
friend lived in an apartment complex in Seoul. She was a stay-at-home mother with a young daughter, and her husband worked during the days. One day, she was coming home from running errands with her daughter and got onto the elevator in her building. When she got on, she noticed that there was a man wearing a cap and a yellow raincoat, and he kept his head low so that she couldn't really see his face. She immediately felt really uneasy, and she made her daughter stand to her side, furthest away from the man. What made her feel even more uncomfortable was that when she pressed the button for her floor, there was no other lit number. And on top of that, she noticed that he was carrying something wrapped inside newspaper close to his side. Things
What?
started to click in my mom's friend's head, and she started to panic and decided to take out her cell phone and pretend she was calling home to her husband, who was obviously really not at home and at work. She started saying things like, "Oh, I'm on the elevator and about to get off. Can you get the door for me?" And making it seem like her husband was waiting at home. When the elevator did reach her floor, she quickly got off and grabbed her daughter and started to walk as fast as she could to her apartment. She noticed that the man also got off on her floor and was slowly following her down the
What?
hallway. When my mom's friend got to her door,
I was you always why for me? Why?
she started to bang on it and shout, "Hey, Yobo, I'm home. Please open the door," and kind of pretended like he was coming to answer the door. Upon seeing this, the man in the yellow raincoat started to walk away back towards the elevator. When he seemed to be far away enough, my mom's friend quickly picked up her daughter and slid open her door's passcode thingy. This is usually how people get into their homes in Korea, and started to frantically punch in her key code. But the problem was that the buttons would make sounds, so the man knew that no one was going to answer the door for her, and he turned around and started to run back towards her. My mom's friend at this point was practically screaming, and when she finally got her door to open, the first thing she did was throw her daughter in through the door. When she got in herself, she saw that the man was pretty much inches from the door, but she managed to shut it and lock it before he could wedge his hand or weapon into the door. Afterwards, looking through the door's peephole, she saw that the man was walking away back towards the elevator. Through the app, she looked at the elevator cameras and saw a man get into the elevator, but he wasn't going anywhere, just standing there waiting for someone to call the elevator. She, of course, called the police, but by the time they arrived, he was no longer in the building. Several months later, my mom's friend was watching the news, and there was a coverage on the capture of a serial killer named Yu Young Chul who used to kill a lot of prostitutes. She told my mom that she could never forget the dread she felt when she saw the too familiar yellow raincoat and hat that he was wearing when apprehended.
Wow, that was wow, wow. That I don't no comment, no comment. Wow, wow. That was three series creepy true stories by number. A link to the video will be the description below. Go and segment and bubble like if you like. And comment down below if you want to see more reaction like this one. And subscribe if you new. And click the button to be none of our below. In what? Bye. Wow.